What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another late night, another epic. This one's a sci-fi fantasy thriller set in the 50s. Not the 2005 remake with Keanu Reeves, but the original one, The Day the Earth Stood Still. It is about extraterrestrials, and so far, we've watched quite a few films about the ETs, but it's always good to revisit them and, see what was presented back in the day, imagine how it was received, and all the underlying themes and sort of ideas that they could have had in the picture relative to the generation. So excited to see this one, and without any further delay, let's get into the picture, because Captain, we are A-go.
It's been tracked around the Earth by radar, traveling at a rate of 4,000 miles an hour. This is not another flying saucer scare. Scientists and military men are already agreed on that. Whatever it is, it's something real.
We interrupt this program to give you...
It is not another scare, it is something real. And it's heard throughout the world by broadcasters, broadcasting it, radios. It's fascinating how quick we're going into the plot and this let's say threat from outer space. It sets off directly from the titles. Wow, how did they do that? It doesn't even look like stop motion or hand drawn, because it's going behind footage objects. That's so clean.
We're on the wall! Alarm it!
Out of everywhere, out of all the possible countries, it decided to land in America.
Every eye, every weapon is trained on the ship. It's been that way for 2 hours, and the tension is just beginning. Just a minute, ladies and gentlemen. I think something is happening.
It's so interesting the way it's being broadcast to us first as an audience, and then within the story how it is being broadcast by these reporters. Just as it was very unique, that scene just now, how there was a TV, he was looking at us, and then it goes to another angle where the reporter is looking directly at us, and then we go into the TV. So it's a very interesting dynamic way to present two different locations and present information.
We have come to visit you in peace and with goodwill.
I do suppose if they landed in any other country, they would be speaking their local dialect. Oh, what color's the blood? What color's the blood? It's almost like his protector. Probably this robot also understands the mission. They came with good intent and in a peaceful manner with goodwill. So he's trying to get rid of all the possible weapons.
It was a gift for your president. With this, he could have studied life on the other planets.
Oh, imagine retrospectively, whoever shot that gift. Oh boy, he probably is beside himself, but he did not know the intent of the gift.
Would you care to talk about it?
I'd be glad to. Not now, of course, with you alone.
Or perhaps you'd rather discuss it personally with the president.
This is not a personal matter, Mr. Harley. It concerns all the people on your planet.
Yeah, he wants a congregation. He wants a public to speak to.
I'm afraid that would be a little awkward. It's completely without precedent. And there are practical considerations, the time involved, the enormous distances.
I traveled 250 million miles.
I appreciate that, but I want to be frank with you, Mr.
Nobody was asking for him, but if any event, it's the UN.
They wouldn't sit down to the same table.
I don't want to resort to threats, Mr. Harley. I merely tell you that the future of your planet is at stake. I urge that you transmit that message to the nations of the Earth.
Under such mysterious circumstances, what more can they lose? I mean, they all saw this giant robot just, like, disintegrate their weapons. They should probably do what he says.
Has he moved, Sergeant?
No, sir, not an inch. This is the toughest material I ever saw, General. For hardness and strength, it's out of this world.
That's exactly what it is. It could be adamantium.
He's 78.
Well, I don't believe it.
Life expectancy is 130.
Well, how does he explain that?
Says their medicine is that much more advanced.
Yeah, I would imagine some people by the end of it would want to go with him to his own planet if they could.
Your impatience is quite understandable.
I'm impatient with stupidity. My people have learned to live without it.
I'm afraid my people haven't. I am very sorry.
What a line. Oh, well, he can say that because, and he can probably vouch for this planet having to live with stupidity because they've been such distant overseers, if you will.
Oh, I must ask that you don't attempt to leave the hospital. Our military people have insisted on this. I'm sure you'll understand.
That's unless he just jumps out the window, or yeah, you could just leave. Wait, how did they come to the conclusion that it was Mars? He never he never gave them that information.
They seem to agree, however, that either Venus or Mars is the most likely possibility. Not only are these the closest planets to Earth, but all research to date indicates that they are the only two planets capable of sustaining life as we know it.
I mean, they certainly should, pass on the fact that he has a perfect disguise. So any form of, protecting yourself, it will be almost impossible unless they give out a description or a picture.
That this is no ordinary manhunt. He warned, we may be up against powers that are beyond our control.
Oh, that's a very nice entrance. I don't know why he kind of is reminding me of Norman Bates.
Can I help you look for the spaceman? I know just what he looks like. He's got a big square head with 3 great big eyes.
That's enough, Bobby. It's late. Come on. Excuse me.
It's either that or he'll fall in love with the human race and probably defend them against whatever threat is looming against the entire planet.
Would he crawl into the sewers of some great city? Everybody agrees there is grave danger. The question remains, what can we do to protect ourselves?
It's almost like they have walked into it with a prejudice that anything from outer space is immediately a threat. Although the very first line he came saying was, "I come in peace and goodwill."
The spaceman, or whatever he is, we automatically assume he's a menace. Maybe he isn't at all.
Exactly. Exactly.
Or perhaps before deciding on a course of action, you'd want to know more about the people here. To orient yourself in a strange environment.
There's nothing strange about Washington, Mr. Carpenter.
And I'm assuming he's saying that about Washington because, again, the representatives for this country would be at the United Nations, which is probably what he has, as he mentioned, how he has learned about each country.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Carpenter. This is Tom Stevens.
How do you do, Mr. Carpenter?
Hello. Bobby and I had a fine time yesterday afternoon. We talked and listened to the radio. I thought today you might like to show me around the city.
Well, the next question would be, where is he from if he's not from the city? And that's quite incredible for the mom to agree out of to a pure stranger.
I've got $2. Mom gave it to me.
No, I want to take you to the movie. Do you think they'd accept these?
Whoa. It's almost like he came with his own version of currency and bartering system. But how did he even rent the room to begin with?
Mr. Carpenter, now can we go see the spaceship?
If you like.
They've come to see the spaceship. What if the 8 feet tall protector recognizes him and suddenly turns on?
See, the basic problem is to overcome the inertia and...
Keep going, mister. He was falling for it.
It's not the kid who's the gullible one. It's the adults.
I am fearful when I see people substituting fear for reason. In fact, I would like...
Thank you, Mr. Carpenter. Thank you very much. I see another gentleman over here.
That's not the comment the reporter was looking for. But yeah, he was talking about the fear for the planet, sort of the real threat looming behind. All of this probably means something to him. He probably has a photographic memory. But it's interesting also that the one who's accompanying him, Mr. Carpenter, and learning so much about him with an unbiased opinion, is a kid.
Would you give this to the professor? I think he'll want to talk to me.
Interesting. So, again, this professor is somebody who he specifically wants to see. For what reason? I don't know.
Have a nice day, dear. We had a swell time, didn't we, Mr. Carpenter?
Yes, we did.
We went to the movies and had some ice cream cones, and then we went to see Daddy.
What a conundrum. What an odd character. And what an odd sequence of things to do with a kid in one day.
If you're not interested, or if you intend to turn me over to your army, we needn't waste any more time.
This is the ultimate, high for a professor.
But soon, one of your nations will apply atomic energy to spaceships. That will create a threat to the peace and security of other planets. That, of course, we cannot tolerate.
What exactly is the nature of your mission, Mr. Klaatu?
Intergalactic peace.
Must I take drastic action in order to get a hearing?
What sort of action do you mean?
Violent action, since that seems to be the only thing your people understand. Leveling New York City, perhaps? Or sinking the Rock of Gibraltar?
Leveling New York City? What if that is anywhere close to this disintegration? That's incredible.
Suppose this group should reject your proposals. What is the alternative?
I'm afraid there is no alternative. In such a case, the planet Earth would have to be eliminated.
It probably is, create peace within yourself so that you don't have to resort to such type of nuclear powers or atomic powers. And yeah, it's protecting you against yourself before you become a threat to others.
Bobby and I tried to see Professor Barnhart in the afternoon, and he wasn't in. Apparently they thought I was looking for secrets of some kind.
Very, very transparent. And clearly he's not trying to hide anything except his identity. Yeah, but who knows? Who knows? I can't necessarily predict the end of this picture. Unless he takes somebody with him, he decides to stay.
Good night.
Good night, Mrs. Benson.
Go to bed now, darling. You can finish that in the morning.
Okay.
slowly introducing to himself as the proper father figure for Bobby.
You think he's a bank robber or a gangster, maybe?
No, dear, of course not. He's a very nice man.
Unless Bobby shows the diamonds.
Here, all you gotta do is push up on it, see?
Oh.
What do you need it for?
The light in my room went out.
Oh.
I must tell you sometime about another kind of train.
That's probably his first lie. I'm assuming he's going to return back to the field and probably go back into the spaceship. Or now that we see him looking at this protector, 8 feet protector, communicate through Morse code. Oh, that's a great shot. Flashes in front of this monster, and it just turns around to its master. Now that's probably telling. That's a sort of language they inherently know. Probably not something they picked up from humans. Is Morse code. So Morse code, or he could be using a different system. We just call it that. It does not necessarily really help Bobby. It doesn't help that Bobby is seeing all of this as the only person who would probably take him seriously. With all these, torches and everything, the diamond cutters trying to get into it. And Bobby says Carpenter was able to go into it. Probably the only person who would believe him sincerely is his mom.
Imre Klaatu Narwat. Macro Pluval, Barata Lupden Sohempiclis. Yavutari Axel Bugletio Berengi Degas.
I was thinking, was he speaking English? But it makes sense that he was speaking in a completely alien dialect. And what more if Mr. Carpenter is already back by the time Mom is back, and this is I have an alibi.
Think back hard. You didn't follow Mr. Carpenter at all, did you? You haven't even been out of the house.
Yes, I have.
Now, you didn't really see a spaceship, but you thought you did.
Well, if he had, he would be getting scoldings. Okay, no alibi. Interesting. And the diamond. So, suspect. Very, very suspect now.
Bobby's going to sleep in my room tonight.
Okay.
Come on now. Up to bed with you. Bobby, your shoes are soaking.
Yeah, grass was kind of wet.
So he was telling the truth. There you go. Now it's up to the adults to believe what they believe, given the evidence.
I'm at Bleeker's to get an appraisal on that diamond. I thought we might have lunch together.
Can I talk to you later? Oh, that'll be fine. Bye.
Wait, why would he need to get an appraisal for? What's the purpose of that? Unless maybe to check if it was real or not, but I hope he didn't steal it.
You see, the electricity's been neutralized all over the world.
Bobby was telling the truth, wasn't he?
And he probably programmed all of this for who knows if this is exactly what he wanted at exactly this minute. In France, in the Soviet Union, Russia, in Britain, everywhere, everything has stopped working, whether it's mechanical, electrical, everything. How could he have done that? Who knows?
Does it make you feel insecure?
Yes, sir, it certainly does.
That's good, Hilda. I'm glad.
It sounds quite sadistic, but to a certain extent, it is, because as you can see, even each one of their scenarios, you can see how reliant they are on their given mode of transportation, their mode of their jobs, or even in farming.
But there are no diamonds like this any place in the world that I know of.
Are you sure of that?
Would you like to sell it?
No.
So that was good. He was at least honest about that, and he did not want to sell it. So that could have probably tracked where he was coming from.
He's locked up tight as a drum.
All right. That means we concentrate on the man. Up till now, we've agreed upon the desirability of capturing this man alive. We can no longer afford to be so particular.
The step up for the manhunt. Yes, yes. It's now a matter of urgency. You know, I'm not so sure if they're entirely blaming this 30-minute knockout on them, but certainly things are becoming more confusing.
Oh, Mrs. Benson, he just walked in.
Oh, fine.
Are you nervous, too?
Yes, I am, Margaret.
Oh, Helen, come on in.
Tom, I've been trying to get you all afternoon.
Margaret can't hide her nervousness. She's telling everyone.
You realize, of course, what this would mean to us. I could write my own ticket. I'd be the biggest man in the country.
Is that what you're thinking about?
Why not? Somebody's got to get rid of him.
Ah, I see. He was looking at the bigger picture. This big picture, Tom.
You'll feel different when you see my picture in the papers.
I feel different right now.
You wait and see. You're going to marry a big hero.
I'm not going to marry anybody.
Helen, Hello, General Cutler.
Still on the line with the Pentagon.
I'm sure Barnhart can arrange to hide me until the meeting.
Where's the meeting going to be?
At the ship.
Yeah!
The meeting is going to be at the ship. That's quite the destination, and certainly will have everybody's attention.
Good, but he's a robot. Without you, what could he do?
There's no limit to what he could do. He could destroy the Earth.
Yeah, just nobody touch him.
Plateau, Barada, Nikto.
You must remember those words.
Well, in that case, to add to the sense of terror, anxiety, thrill, he probably will die. Alright, the cavalry is now coming.
Get that message to God. Right away.
78, and relative to Earth years does not mean that he has this superhuman strength and that he can't die by bullets. He was obviously injured by the flesh wound or whatever wound he was initially shot with, so it makes sense that he probably died. And then now she has to turn off the robot, and wouldn't it be amazing if she forgot those words? So much for this containment being tied as a belt. Oh boy, not only the weapons, killed both of them, both the soldiers. Well, her response is completely warranted. I mean, 8 feet tall, and you've heard the stories about it. And it actually worked, and it's now treating her as its subject to protect. Wouldn't it be terrifying if the ship just lifts up and just takes off? Right, now that's pretty amazing. how the robot was able to get to him without being seen, and essentially bring him so far back. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. That's either its cremation process or a healing process.
This technique, in some cases, can restore life for a limited period.
But how long?
You mean how long will I live? That no one can tell.
Wow, that's pretty. That's a bargain. That's a great bargain. But it suffices to end the plot, to end the story, with all the scientists here. Talk about making a statement. See Mr. Carpenter walk out with a blood-stained suit and walking on 2 feet.
Your ancestors knew this when they made laws to govern themselves and hired policemen to enforce them. We of the other planets have long accepted this principle. We have an organization for the mutual protection of all planets and for the complete elimination of aggression.
Complete elimination of aggression. Well, the thing to his point is now they're politicians above the authority of the policemen, or sort of their first line of mitigation.
It is no concern of ours how you run your own planet. But if you threaten to extend your violence, this Earth of yours will be reduced to a burned-out cinder.
Wow. As you mentioned, you're just revoking the freedom to be irresponsible.
Pursue your present course and face obliteration. We shall be waiting for your answer. The decision rests with you.
Well, I guess the next UN conference, they'll probably be listening in and saying, okay, shall we obliterate them or keep them? It's certainly not that, but that is, I mean, it's a form, it's a gesture. And just like that, that's the end of the film. The spaceship takes off, and the message is, I mean, he did what his mission was supposed to. He completed the mission. Thoughts? Well, it's probably not to my surprise that this film is more a thought-provoking film than it is a sci-fi film. It comes out in a period of time where it probably alludes to a lot of irresponsible country-to-country conflict, war, unnecessary war, and the question, why can't we all just live in peace? We're all trying to stay alive, so why don't we just attempt at living in peace? And if that question comes with a universal threat, maybe we would start to place a lot more attention and place a lot more effort in getting along with each other, because unless we get along with each other, we'll just die. And that is an interesting thought to be thinking about, to think that these sectors or these governances that have been set up to monitor everyone, the FBI, the CIA, the police, or whatever have you, there are government bodies that regulate and keep irresponsible activities to a minimum, but yet that's not enough. There is another planet that's also having to look at your planet, not in a local perspective, but because that's to some extent what every policeman can do, or what every governing body can do, or sort of this authority figure can do. But sort of the UN in its very cores not getting it done, and that's the need for an out of space, a different planet to help govern you, or govern, let's say, this planet, this fictional planet, that's just secretly aching and discovering a way, like methods to have rocket ships and atomic bombs and nuclear bombs and so on and so forth, as we saw with Dr. Strangelove and Failsafe, how men's creations and their ingenuity, how can so easily be corrupted, even under the best of intentions, even with good intentions. You can never mitigate that 0.0001% of a failure. Even if it's not human, it could be mechanical. So it's an interesting idea when you put that out there, that these people came in with good intentions, with peace, to protect them against themselves, humanity against themselves. And it's a great idea. I might have gotten everything wrong, I might completely have missed the point, but nevertheless a great film to watch, and I can count on you guys to correct me if I was wrong. And yeah, looking forward to the next picture and the comment section. But other than that, I'll leave you to enjoy the rest of your day. Yeah, take care, guys. Stay peaceful and safe. Take care, guys. What's up, you cinephiles? Thank you very much for making it to the very end. Me and Big Willie don't take that for granted. We really appreciate you. Now, if you'd like to show your support to us, you know what you can do up here. You can smash that button, really just smash it. And if you would like to check out some more content, they're all curated by days up over here and playlists. So, you know what? We hope you're having a great day. Don't crumble and just continue to smile and be a good bastion of cinema.